a man who has won many awards, an elder in the church. He has so much pedigree within the maritime space as a journalist and as a stakeholder. He's Elder Asubex. Elder, welcome to the program, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. My name is Dili Utomi, and this is the Maritime and Border Show. Sir, we are here to talk about all things within the maritime sector. First and foremost, there are certain things in the news this week about the call for Nigeria's removal from the war risk, insurance, by the authorities. It's been in the news for quite some time. And can you tell us a little bit about this, sir? It's in the news.
Yes, incidentally, I was at that workshop, or if you like, call it a conference, at the 4 Points by Sheraton, organized by the Maritime Reporters Association, for stakeholders to come together and brainstorm on the continued retention of Nigeria as that war risk. In fact, I don't know if there's even any war now at the moment. And so this is perhaps one of those funny policies put together or imposed in Nigeria by some Western countries who continue to see this country as a threat because of our huge potentials, not only in oil and gas, but also in the maritime sector. And if you were there on that day, in fact, one former DG of NIMASA who spoke and got a standing ovation from participants at that workshop was Prince Timi Omasheyi.
Okay.
And his presentation drew a standing ovation because of the information that he made available.
Okay.
Because as we speak, there's even no need for that tax, for which we have lost close to about 1.5 billion dollars in the last couple of years. Also, these are some of these things that these Western nations they put, because Africa, whether you like it or not, is an emerging market in the global community because of vast resources, both in terms of oil and gas, agriculture, of course, and maritime. And so these are the things that, but I'm happy that the minister, even though he wasn't physically present, the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, he wasn't physically present because of other official engagements, but he had one of our own, Bolaji Akiola, who of course is a special advisor on media, to represent him. And from the speech presented by the minister to that from the Nigerian Shippers Council, they were all passionate, they were all desirous of the need to remove that burden, because at the end of the day, whatever cost you transfer to the importer or the shipper ends with
as a burden to the consumer.
Yes, and so
and of course it robs us of the necessary revenue.
Yes.
We're talking about well, that's something in the news over the week, the removal of Nigeria from the war risk insurance. Sir, please, Could you elaborate a little bit for the benefit of the listeners what war risk insurance means?
Yeah, I think let me put in the layman's definition. Means that war risk insurance means that we
At war.
at war, and that it is for any vessel that is coming to Nigeria, bringing its cargo, is taking a risk.
Okay.
Whereas we are not at war. Nigeria is not Sudan. We are not Israel. We are not Ukraine. In fact, those are the countries that they should be even talking about war risk. And so for somebody to wake up, a group of countries, or to wake up and say, look, if you look at the statistics in the last couple of years, you will see that there has been relative peace in the Gulf of Guinea. In fact, just 2 days ago, there was an attempt, a piracy attempt. And the NIMASA, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, and with the Coast Guard, that is the Nigerian Navy, they went immediately to avert whatever would have been another catastrophic, incident in the Gulf of Guinea. And so we are not at war, and there's no risk for any vessel that is coming to Nigeria. And so it's something that should take the immediate attention of Mr. President. This should not just be left for the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, should not be left for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We should immediately address this matter so that the cost of transportation of goods to Nigeria should be at the barest minimum, like other countries.
Yes, sir. Again, in the news during the weekend, the MPA was making a affirmation of their commitment towards the maritime sector in terms of the development of the ports and growing the economy within the sector. I guess you were also probably at a seminar, a place where they were talking about this. What do you think about MPA's speech about their commitment to?
No, I'm sure maybe you are referring to what the managing director talked about. The East, because for some time now there has been this claim that there is a deliberate attempt to neglect the Eastern ports. And so I think that was what the management or the managing director of MPA was trying to clarify, that there's certainly no discrimination, because the monies that have been made available for infrastructural upgrade of the ports are going to be spread evenly within the eastern and western ports, and so that the NPA remains committed to ensuring that we have a sizable chunk of cargo traffic to the east. Okay. And this is where at times I also get worried. I'd engaged the MD on one or two occasions on this issue of remember it was during the tenure of the former MD Isabella Osman. The issue of general managers for the east and west were scrapped, and I still did not buy the idea of scrapping of east and west. You see, right now, for everything that you want to do in the eastern ports, you have to revert to Marina. And so if we have a situation where there's some level of decentralization, there's a GM for east, there's a GM for west, you will see that healthy competition. And so it's like we have in other agencies, in the customs we have it, immigration we have it, police has several zones. So what I'm saying here is that now if we had, for instance, a GM for the eastern zone, that GM would be the chief marketing officer for the MPA in that zone. That GM would be the one that will engage traders in Aba, would be the one that will engage traders in Onitsha to say, look, there's business. Why do you have to bring your cargo to Lagos? when you have Port Harcourt, when you have Calabar, when you have Warri Port, when you have Port Harcourt Port. So if you are bringing your cargo, these are the kind of incentives that you will get. And so once you begin to do that, and then combine with, the GM also will also make sure that it has a fantastic rapport with, the security agencies in the east, like the naval authorities in Warri, Calabar, Port Harcourt, and even in Bayelsa. So in that manner, you will see a situation where there will be a healthy competition. And once that happens, you begin to see that there is confidence on the part of those importers who will come to Lagos and pick their cargo and move by road. Of course, you know what it takes to move your truck from Lagos to the east. We are not talking about even the security implications there and the cost implications. So these are the things that I think that I've engaged in several occasions. That is the MD of MP to say, look, please, why don't have a rethink about this issue of scrapping of the GM, zonal GMs. And so once we do that, you begin to see that these ports will begin to pick up, because I am from Bayelsa, and I think that the talk out there is that there's a deliberate attempt to frustrate the eastern ports in favor of the western ports. And so that is why you see the Lagos port, Lincoln port, we have Apapa port, we have Lekki, and then we have Badagry that is under construction. Of course, I'm sure you are aware that Dangote is also going to build another, seaport, which he says is going to be the biggest in the region in Ogun State. And so the fear of people from my region is that there's so much attention given to the ports in the west.
Thank you so very much. We are talking with Elder Asubex, a maritime journalist and a man with many decades of experience within the maritime sector. So, topic for today on this program is, of course, it centers on realizing the potentials within the maritime sector, and we are looking at. These are just the preambles. We've been talking about the news that made it around in the course of the week. Well, our major focus for today is on realizing the potentials of the maritime sector. 070-390-3903. Again, 070-090-7175-6368. Again, we also have 6368. Again, we also have 0803 6929933. 0803. Host is here. Please introduce yourself.
All right. Good afternoon, listeners. This is VOP 90. Good afternoon, listeners. This is VOP 90.3 FM, and this is the Maritime and Border Show. My name is Prince Chilaka, and this is the Maritime and Border Show. My name is Prince Chilaka. You're very much welcome to today's program. Let me even start. You're very much welcome to today's program. Let me even start by telling our audience that, as promised, we started discussing. There's going to be a reshufflement in the Nigerian customs
policy framework for the new ministry has been unveiled. That the problem with NIMASA or the ministry doorsteps of the ship owner, that should be in the museum. Something that
council
will be like CBN.
All right,
all this other.
All right, so
and your client who died in the process of trying to get his goods out.
Yes, some decided to change from NICES to I would say from reliable source. People who built the NICE NICES 2 were meant to hand it over after building. It was built and transferred. But I heard that along the line, they were not willing to do the transfer. And, they wanted the customs people to always run to them. So as a result of that, the CG of Custom, they now sat down with the management and said, let us build something indigenous to us, something we can own. And that is how the Biodogu came up. And you see, let's give it to the CG Adewale. He's done so well. He's done so well in terms of ensuring that we have a homegrown system